Secondly, there are now new videos released by the New York Times that show what might have happened to U.S. Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick. We got to warn you that the video might be disturbing. One of the suspects highlighted by the Times appears to raise a pepper spray can or a spray can of some sort and then sprays in the direction of Officer Sicknick. You can then see Sicknick turning away after being hit by the spray. Joining me now is NBC News Justice Correspondent Pete Williams. So, Pete, do they know who did it, who sprayed him, and can they make the connection between that incident and his death?
Well, 2 people have been charged with spraying Sicknick and 2 other police officers. They've been charged with assaulting police officers and assaulting using a dangerous weapon. The court documents don't directly say that it was, in fact, bear spray, but prosecutors have said one of the 2 men bought a can of bear spray just before coming to Washington, and that it was stored in the other man's backpack, and that he pulled it out and at some point sprayed what the court documents consistently say is an unknown substance. If it was, in fact, bear spray, it would explain why the 3 officers reacted as they did, because obviously bear spray is, unlike, say, mace, not intended to be used on humans, and it would explain the reaction. That's the nature of the charges, though, assaulting the officers. The coroner has not yet said what caused the death of Officer Sicknick. He responded, he recoiled, he washed his eyes out with water, he was offline for a while, and then about 10 o'clock the night of the Capitol riots, he was taken to the hospital and died 24 hours later. But there's been no explicit connection yet between the assault and the officer's death.
If they do make that connection, obviously that's still a big if, would that mean murder charges for one or both of these men?
Potentially it could. The man who supervised these investigations, Michael Sherwin, who was the U.S. attorney here in Washington until last Friday, explicitly told that to 60 Minutes in an interview conducted late last week, that if they determined that was the cause of death, then they would likely file murder charges, yes.
And then what about the news from a court filing that a member of the Oath Keepers was in touch with some extremist groups? What do we know about that?
Well, this is the first suggestion by the government that members of extremist groups were in touch with each other before they got to Washington. This latest thing comes in a Justice Department memo that opposed pretrial release for a man named Kelly Meggs from Florida. Prosecutors have said he was a leader and one of 10 members of the Oath Keepers who played a role in the Capitol assault. And according to this document, on December 19th, Meggs posted a message on Facebook saying that he organized an alliance between the Oath Keepers, the Florida 3 Percenters, and the Proud Boys. And it says from late December until early January, he organized and participated in about 10 online discussions and led the group's planning activities, paid for two hotel rooms in Washington. In several of these messages, he appears to contemplate some kind of street protest action, saying that the Oath Keepers would march with the Proud Boys, then fall to the back of the crowd and be prepared to engage with any members of Antifa. But by the afternoon of January 6th, the prosecutors say in this memo, Meggs and the other Oath Keepers rushed into the Capitol in what you're looking at here is the video the prosecution says applies to this, rushed in a military-style formation. But it's interesting that this document doesn't say that there was planning to attack the Capitol in December. And that's still a question that this investigation has yet to answer. Whose idea was it to actually enter the Capitol building, and when was that plan formulated?
Pete Williams. Pete, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.